So the deal is I leave for Alaska in a month and a half and want to paddle in as much cold water as I can. Man, all my gear is a mess. Everywhere I go, my gear is a mess. At home. Well, after 2 weeks of teaching, this is what my office looks like. 2 weeks of teaching and a beach trip and all that stuff. I gotta make this better. Here in the van, everything's a mess. And it's what happens because I've been working a lot, and then I went away for a couple days in the van, and so the van ends up a mess, and I'm about to go paddling, and I swear my dry suit is still wet. I don't know how, but it's still wet. Maybe it's just cold. I don't know. Exceedingly low tide. Very stinky. I am not having an easy day. I am just discombobulated. It's warm for a dry suit, but the water is frozen. My boat was filled with water. My paddle is misbehaving. And it's my fault because I didn't rinse it after paddling in salt water. Another thing I have to pay more attention to. And I decided to use the GPS today so that I could keep track of how far I've come. And this little inlet is so small, it's not even showing up on the waterways, which I guess isn't surprising. It is the stock base map, but still kind of annoying. So, let's talk about what's going on. So, what do I have planned? As I record this, it is March 14th, March 15th. And I leave this weekend to teach a wilderness first aid course. Then I come back. Not sure what I've got immediately when I come back, but April is insane. I'm doing 2 WFAs in April. I'm doing a 4-day trip on the coast with Johnny. In part, originally it was planned just to help him get up to speed sort of on kayak camping. But it'll also be a good workout for me for what's coming up 2 weeks after that, which is I leave for Alaska. And so on the 4th of March, I leave for Alaska to paddle in Prince William Sound to demonstrate to Knowles that I still have the ability to paddle a sea kayak. Then I come back, and 3 days later I'm in North Carolina teaching a wilderness first aid course. And then I've got 2 WFAs in June. I'm also going to teach back in Greensboro a kayak camping class, a 1-day, 4-hour kayak camping class, like the classes I taught recently. Same venue, same everything. And for now, I think that's it. I'm starting planning a fall coast trip. I'm starting planning a 2-day private on-water nav trip. And I got a call today for something else. So business is good. I'd like some more business here in Norfolk. But I'll take what I can get. That is what's planned. But between now and May 4th, I really need to make sure that my skills are sharp. So every time I hit the water, I am practicing particular skills So like I used to do on my little lake, I would, like today, I'm gonna do draw strokes and turning strokes and bow rudder strokes. Right now I just want to make sure my body is working well. The goal today is to not get arrested. I'm gonna be paddling out of here and up towards some piers that are Navy, and I know I'm not allowed to get too close to them, but it's hard when I don't want to be right in the middle of a channel. Nice thing is that with the GPS on, I can see, now the wind's on my side, I can see that I'm cruising along right between 3.5 knots, which is super nice. Stand-up paddleboarder just went past me. No PFD, no leash, wearing street clothes, because it's a beautiful day out. It's close to 70 degrees, but I suspect he doesn't realize that the water is in the 50s. And right here where we are, oh no, it got deep. Yeah, he could probably stand up here, but 30 feet that way he can't. It just befuddles me, the lack of thought that people put into a paddle. Okay, so I turned a corner. Now I've got a headwind. And it feels like a little bit of current coming back in now. I've only been paddling for about a half an hour, but water is very different, and I've lost about a knot. So let's cut in a little closer to shore to get out of the wind. The other thing that's going on is I have gear that is approaching end of life. One of my booties has a hole in it. This dry suit should probably go back to Kokatat before I go to Alaska, but it's not going to. It should go back to Kokatat to be checked for leaks and things like that. The gaskets are relatively new. But, oh, and my PFD is approaching end of life, but... Okay, definitely in less protection now, more of a headwind, and maybe still some current. Still at around 2.5 knots. Watching them move containers, there's a sea of containers here, and on the other side of this is where they unload container ships. I'm not sure if there is one there now. I think there actually is one there now. That's going to be our turnaround, is when we get to this point, we should be able to see. But pretty wild watching them move this stuff around. I'm just going to go a little bit further, make a waypoint, and turn around. Oh, that was loud. This is a nerve-wracking place to paddle because there is just so much going on. There are Black Hawk helicopters everywhere. Actually, I think they're Navy, so they're Seahawk helicopters. And then Port of Norfolk is right there. So there's a lot going on here. I'm just going to make my waypoint and turn around. Stick this in here for this. Sorry about that. I really feel like that Black Hawk is checking me out, but it's pretty far away. But it does keep getting closer. Yeah, I'm doing almost 5 knots now, so... Nope, sorry. 4 knots now. But nice little chop. Should get us home pretty quickly. That's what's going on. I'm going to finish up this paddle. I have about 2 more miles, 2.5 miles, 3 miles to go. Something 2.5, 3.5, I don't know. Very, very busy period coming up. But the prime is I got to be strong. I got to have my skills sharp for Alaska in May. And it's going to be cold. Hey, if this content is working for you, hit like, hit subscribe. And books available on Amazon. Available for private lessons, group lessons. Reach out, Brett at Adventure Otaku, OTAKU. And I'll see you on the water. See you on the water.